welcome back. It is Saturday, the 14th or 15th? Yeah, 15th. As I've been very busy last week with work, all in a good way, of course. We're finally going live with our department. We've started already this past week because we have about a total of 12 guys in total for both the day and night shift to start off with. So right now the trainer, we've gone through already some scenarios and already started replying to emails and the calls that were coming in. It's been good so far. I mean, we've been on the ball, so to speak. We haven't been behind the eight ball, we've been on the ball, and which is good. So starting this week, actually starting today, there should be already a day shift running, because I've checked my schedule. I actually start tomorrow on my shift for 8:30 in the morning until 5 o'clock, so I don't have to go in until tomorrow, but I'm going to pass by work there just to see how everything's going with the group, with the guys that are coming in today, to see if they have any problems. I actually, surprisingly enough, actually I had done this for myself since I've been playing pool with some of the guys at work, because we have a pool table out in the middle of the office there, because I have a small game room now. I've actually picked up a pool cue and bag for myself. Not, just to keep in a good habit, a good spirit of playing pool with the guys. But I figured to at least get my own cue and all that to play with. Not that I'm going to be an expert in playing billiards and all that, but it's just something I wanted to have for recreation from time to time with, with the guys at work. Or, when I'm with friends and all that, at least I have my own billiards pool. And since I've known many of the friends and even cousins that I play pool with, I figured I'd have just that as something that for my pleasure and leisure. So I've already gotten that out of the way. I picked up a nice titanium billiards cue. It's really nice. It fits snug as a bug in a rug. It's 58 inches, which I think is within the standards of billiards. So it's one that I've been taking a look at. And I've also double checked at a place that is not far where I work. It's called Canada Billiards and Bowling. They also deal with bowling balls and all that for people who are in the hobby of playing bowling. I actually went down there yesterday just to take a look, because I've always heard about the company because it used to be up by over here where I live, and never actually went into the place because I didn't know about it, because it looked like one of those companies where it's just strictly for not retail stores, but just for larger companies, like where they can actually buy it for the companies themselves, or places that, like pool halls as an example, that they deal mainly with that. Luckily enough, when I went to a website, I actually found out it's actually open to the public. And I took a look and I said, oh, okay, I know where that address is. Decided I went down yesterday to take a look. And the stuff that they have there for pool, foosball, hockey, tables pool tables that can be combined as dinner table and pool table, because you can put like a flat cover on top, like a proper cover that's solid for where you can eat on, or you can have a pool table, combination pool table and billiards table. A lot of the stuff is really nice, good quality stuff from what I can see. The other thing that worries me is also I had seen some of the pricing for the cue sticks. They range anywhere from the standard wood cues, that's the standard one-piece cues, or one that you can screw together to make it into one piece, ranging from $47, and I've seen the highest one yesterday I couldn't believe the price. I literally was in shock. The highest one that I'd seen there was $984.90. And it's like, $985. It's like, holy, that thing better be engraved with some priceless stuff on there, exotic materials. And even though I'm not a professional pool player, but I mean, just to see some of the pricing, it's like you get surprised to see the cost of things. And it's all made in Canada on top of it. So the pool tables are made in Canada, built and made the way you want them. Same thing with the cues and all that. So they have all the top latest equipment directly there in regards to the billiards tables for the billiards and pool cues. So I mean, I was really surprised at some of the stuff they have there, and it looks like really good quality too. But I didn't want to actually buy something too expensive. Something within reason. Even when I went down to the local Walmart or Canadian Tire that we have up here in Canada, it's like I looked at the price there, and it's like I looked at the price at that place, and it's like, ooh. But I went for something that I wanted more or less, So I decided to go with what they call a titanium cube, which actually is not too expensive. It's actually $67, so that's actually something that I wanted, and it's been good. So I've tested that actually out yesterday. I went to Skratch, which is a local place, a local billiards hall, and played for about an hour or so, just so I could get into the habit of breaking in the cue itself, so I could get used to it. So it's all been a really good thing. So that's one thing I've been doing yesterday, because I want to practice up in order to get better, of course. I played with that myself. And yes, Chippery is not here today for the simple fact is I did speak with him this morning, but he didn't mention anything about the get-together today that he wanted to do. So I said, screw it. I am not waiting around. If he wants to come, he can come at his own cost. And I'm going to be trying to decide where I'm going to go for lunch too at the same time. So I'm debating whether to have like a pizza or something like that at Carrefour Laval and do my exercise before I actually play some pool, or just go down to the pool ball directly. I haven't decided yet, so that's still in the mix of things. So that's one thing I'm going to decide to do. So the other thing I'm also thinking of, since I do have the titanium, I probably want to get a backup cue, and we do have a carbon fiber at Canadian Tire as well, and I need an 80 inch or something, a regulated cue similar to what I have now, as well as a backup, so as an alternative. So I have two cues with me at all times, and I do have a proper case for it as well. So I have something like that already set up for me. And what I am going to do is I'm going to also surprise my colleagues, because they keep on saying, oh yeah, you look like one of those billiard sharks, which I'm not by any stretch of the imagination. I can if I wanted to, if I really practiced a lot, but I'm not one of those guys that is a professional billiards player. Not by any stretch of the imagination. So that's one thing I've learned, is never say something that you actually are where in fact you're not. And I know I'm not an expert billiards player, so that's one thing I've learned. And I've actually played, well, this is going back when I was like a youngin'. One of my cousins was living with their parents at one point when we were kids. He had a friend who actually always went to the pool halls. He was really good at it. You can see it, you know. It's like he practices a lot, and he kept winning and winning and winning and winning. You know, against my cousin, against me, and all that. He looked at me and he actually defunked it. He actually let me win one game out of the whole thing, which was, you know, kind of nice of him too. And you know, being a younger guy that I was back in the day, it felt good, you know. But I realized that, you know, he was actually you know, almost becoming a professional pool player, as for for what he does for a living. And I even asked him, I said, look, I said, I know you play a lot, and I can see you're an expert at it, you know. And, you know, I've asked even back then, I said, you know, like, what do you think about this shot or that shot? You know, I was trying to learn as I go to not mimic him, but to understand his, you know, to understand the gameplay and how, you know, to learn some of how different areas, you know, different halls work, you know, as for, you know, the rules and regulations, and making sure that we're both on the same level. So, I mean, I learned a lot from him too, so that's going back, way back in the day. So that's one thing I've learned for myself, is always ask questions in regards to something like that, especially if you don't play it too often, and especially if you want to learn more about it. I mean, I even picked up a couple of things there while I was at the billiards place. Where is it? Okay, here it is. I mean, these are just general guides too. Minnesota facts on pool. I have one here on billiards and snooker. And last but not least, how to play pool right. So, I mean, I picked these up at the liquidation box that they had. It was like for $1.95 each, and I looked at it and like, I can afford $1.95 for you know, per book. It's like, okay, that's good. At least I have something as a reference for myself, and, you know, to bring with me to friends' places and all that. Something that is always good to have, and it doesn't hurt. I mean, it's always good as a refresher. Even when I was doing bowling, you know, with a couple of the different leagues, there was always slight rule changes and all that. So that was always a good thing. So let's see if they're doing okay this morning at the office. We're basically here, and I'm going to surprise them. I'm actually going to come in with my pool cue and all that. I want to see them go into labor. I want to see them go into labor this morning. See what they say. Because I know tonight the evening shift is actually going to come in, and they're going to actually hand over to the day shift, which I'm going to be on. And I want to see what their faces are going to say here. So anyhow, I'm going to be right back in regards to this, so you guys hang on there, and I'll be here. I am. Anyhow, it was great to see the guys. They didn't have any problems getting in this morning. There was already a night shift that was there to log in, so they're going to log out tonight, since there's nobody there for the evening shift. So nothing too much to worry about. So that's always a good thing. Now I'm actually going to go over to over to Careful Laval and get some exercises, get some of my walking done, because I've been slagging off here, mainly because I've been doing at least my minimum of 10,000 steps a day the last couple of days, last 2 or 3 days. Usually I'm up to 14 or 15,000 steps in regards to that, but because of the job here, it makes it a little bit harder to get my exercise done. So I'm going to find a way around that to get get back up to par on that. So I'm going to actually try to see what I can do, because I usually need my exercise and sitting down for 8 hours a day is not always a good thing. But, you know, we gotta do what we gotta do for our jobs. I'm still gonna try to work up on it. So, and also I'm gonna go down to Skratch right afterwards. Do what I usually do is practice up on my billiard skills, because I need that. I want to be more than efficient in regards to it. So that's one thing I am going to do, because I need it. Other than that, everything's been going okay. My daughter's birthday party was actually great in regards to that part of it, so that wasn't too bad. I was very happy that she actually enjoyed her party. But there's always little concerns there. My ex is always also concerned about getting her phone because she needs it for work, especially to check her schedule and all that. So it makes things a little bit more difficult than it is. So I'm going to see what I can do, but I can't guarantee anything on that because I've already done so much for her. I can't keep on footing the bill for all the stuff that she needs. And now she does have a full-time job too, or a job at McDonald's. So she is picking up some money off of that to pay for her tuition and for her phone. So that's one thing she needs to do on her own, which is an important part of life. And I know since the last time she had gotten a new phone, she had actually not misplaced it, but she had got it lifted from her. So it's kind of a little mad at the situation, but not directly at her. But there's only so much you can get angry at. I mean, it's not worth ruining somebody's life because of it. I mean, things like that do happen. Other than that, everything seems to be okay. And I'll let you guys know how well I did at This Staurday. Anyhow, I'm only playing by myself there, so it's just to get the practice in. And that's the main thing I want to do, is just to get the practice in, because it's something that I would like to get more proficient in, even though I'm just playing by myself. Okay, where should I park now? That's the other hard thing here, because there's never enough parking around this place, and if there is, it's like it's a longer distance, longer exercise to get to it. I might have to do that, so no other choice in the matter. Anyhow, so that's part of my life here on this Saturday. And since I'm going to start work tomorrow, it means I have to get my laundry done tonight. So I've got to do that too before anything else. Interesting indeed. There's always been life choices. We all make choices in our life for these things. So gotta do what we gotta do. And I hate always being the guy that has to bear the bad news to people. Oh, here we go. Got more parking over here. Thank you. Okay, here we go. It's better than nothing. So I'll see you guys a little bit later, and have a good day. Just did 2 rounds of walking, just over 5,000 steps. I might just do one more, just for the sake of purpose, before I head over to the Skratch. Here's my lunch. Taglini with pizza and a Diet Pepsi, a Diet Coke. That's my lunch for today. Let's head over to the Skratch afterwards. Okay, so finally got out of there. I just did another round just right after lunch, which was the pizza and the the pasta there that you had seen, and I just did over 7,649, which is okay. It's going to probably jump later on to close to about 14, but anyhow, let's head over to Skratch. I'm going to practice some pool, and yes, I did bring my cue with me, so I'm going to go in there, do some practice shots and all that, just to get up to par there. It's been a while, it's been too long that I played billiards, and I want to be able to show the other guys that yes, I can be really good in playing billiards as well. I don't want to be known as a shark, but it's going to be something that I'm going to get used to very quickly there. Hopefully we can arrange a small get together with the guys from work and all that, and start doing a small tournament. Yeah, just for fun, of course, just between the guys there, just to see how well we do and go from there. We'll take it one step at a time. So let's head over. We're going to drive there directly, and in between talk a little bit, okay? Let's go. Back once again, driving like always. Okay, so like I said, I mentioned to you guys earlier, we're heading over to This Skratch. Same place that I went yesterday just to break in my cue. And I was actually reading up last night on how to play billiards properly. And it was just because I hadn't played in a long time, and just trying to remember the rules and all that was a little bit interesting, because depending on where you go, you know, which places you're going to play pool, like the different pool halls, and with the different players, the rules change slightly. So it'll depend totally on who you're playing with and what's going down in regards to that. A couple of times rules do change a little bit from time to time, depending who you play with. And since there's so many different types of billiard games, you know, like 8 ball, 9 ball, so on and so forth, that the rules change like constantly. So you have to double check with everybody, you know, to make sure everybody's on the same level or same wavelength, as I like to say sometimes, because it changes the game completely. And I know for when I was reading up on learning how to break, and usually, and this is a rule that I always remember, and it's like general consensus with most of these players that I've played with, whether they're professional or any other type of player. Usually, when you sink when you break the rack, usually the first ball that usually sinks in, whether it's a stripe or a solid, that's usually the one that you're usually playing with throughout that particular game. So when you're playing like one-on-one or in you know, teams of 2, you'll usually have one or the other. And in some cases, I remember seeing where you usually have to call the ball, like the ball that you're hitting, in which corner it's going to go in. If it isn't, it's usually called the foul in regards to it. And if you happen to, you know, do whatever, usually if you sink the white ball in afterwards, like which one you're trying to go in, it's considered a scratch, so that ball has to come back out and placed on the middle of where you had actually rocked the balls. So I was actually reading up on that. So that was actually in one of these 2 here, or 3, and that's what they say. So I mean, that's the general rules. Again, it'll vary from place to place where you're playing, from pool hall to pool hall, and with who you're playing with. Since I'm playing with a group of guys at work, we're, you know, kind of flexible in regards to that, where sometimes it doesn't matter, sometimes it does matter. It all depends on who you're playing with. So, I mean, for general, we don't really care if you call it or not, but it's just, you know, proper etiquette type of thing. So that's one thing I just want to make sure I'm up to snuff with. And I spoke with one of my other guys that I deal with, I do have a thing called Billiards for Dummies. Again, it's just something to, refresh our memories at and to get more comfortable with, since we are playing for fun, of course, and we're just having a good time at it, even at work. Again, I'm not trying to be a professional at it myself. It's just something I like to try to get up to snuff with and get the old cobwebs out. And I find it's better that, like when I had bought my cue stick, that I have one that I know is not deeply warped or anything like that, because I've seen at a couple of places, a couple of pool halls, and this is going back even when I was a kid, where the pool cues, or the sticks that you actually hit the cue with, are totally warped. Totally warped. So it's like, that's something that I wanted to make sure that when I play pool with the guys, that I don't have a warped stick. And I've noticed already at work that one of the pool sticks, or pool cues, as they are properly mentioned, had already a broken head. Like the felt has already been broken on it and been set aside. So that's kind of like one stick less for anybody to play with if you're playing with a group of people, in couples or small teams. So for myself, I picked up mine with a couple of replacement heads and a couple of chuck to use with it. So that'll be something that I know I'm going to keep proper maintenance of and maintain for myself. And I'm not lending that out for anybody, even if it's a colleague from work, even if it's just for one round. That's not going to leave my side, for the simple fact you never know if it will break on them. Because I don't want them to end up saying, "Oops, I didn't know, sorry," and it's like the guy doesn't, replace it. If I break it, I replace it because it's my fault. If they try to break it and they don't want to replace it, well, you should not have been asking, That's, I think, just common courtesy on anything. I haven't actually tried playing the billiard table yet at work with my new cue, but I'll eventually do it one of these days when I do have a chance to play pool. If I do, then it's going to be something fun. If not, don't worry, it's not a big deal. I'll probably play maybe a round or so after hours, or just for the fun of it. Just to say that I've actually tried it at the one at work. What I am going to do is I'm going to take a look at home. I'm going to try to see if I can actually find some open source software where I can actually make my own little cloud from home, and have the guys put the stuff in, and the typical stuff to start the the tournament, the company tournament that way. So that way, at least it's going to be fun for everybody, and take a look at the stats of who did what with who, and where, who has won, and this and that, and have some fun with it. I've always liked, as a technician, making little cloud services for, for home use and, for where I'm working. This is going to be one of them where I'm going to actually enjoy doing myself, just for the fact it's available out off the web. It may not be the latest and the greatest one, but it's still better than nothing in regards to that part. But still, it's to be able to learn how to put it together and see it break, and do the usual things on it. That's half the fun, as they say, being computer tech, or in this case, network operations, because we get to learn all the time. And that's the fun thing about things, especially playing billiards there. You can play with a group of friends, 5, 10 people, so that way you have even groups, and just do it for the fun of it. I'm just wondering offhand now at work, besides the 4, we're missing actually 2 other people for our group at work, so we are already up to 12 people now. Once we can get a full group, if I can get a good consensus on that for billiards, then we'll see if we can actually start a small friendly tournament, of course, just for the fun. If that can work out great, then I don't see why not. We'll keep it up and running. That's something that that would be great for work as well, because we can also play at our leisure in regards to it. See who's playing who and with what. It doesn't have to be prize money. It just could be something just, like who's looking at the hill today, or whatever. So that's one thing I am going to do for work-related stuff. And of course doing the other stuff that we have to do for work, which is a lot of stuff on the backside, which I am going to get the servers up and running today, because that's the nice thing. Once I get home and get them set up, it's just a matter of plugging them in and start plugging in the operating systems on all three of them. Come on. You gonna let me in? You gonna let me in? What? Jesus H. Christ. So, that's what I'm going to be doing within the next couple of days. And of course I have to get my laundry done too, as well. I have to get that. Wouldn't have any clothes for tomorrow. That wouldn't be right. Need to get that done too. See what I do for you guys here on my blogs. I have to think about my watchers here. And yes, you'll eventually see the 3 servers that I have ready to be set up, like just to get the installation of the software and all that. Once I get those running, you'll see more of what I've done to them. It's just that I got so many things on my plate that it's just hard to keep track of. And a lot of stuff is just buzzing around. So, let's see what we can do with those as well. And that's just half the fun, isn't it? We're almost there. There's never enough time in the day to do what you need to do. And that's the truth about things. Why is it? I have no idea. Wish there was more hours in the day so we can get more things done, but there isn't. We're only limited to 24 hours. What else? What else did I want to say? I always have something good to say. I'm always yapping my head off. I sound sometimes like one of those old ladies, never stop, never have enough to say and have to use all my breath and it's like, breathe. Anyhow. So let's get back here. Here we go. The fun. Yeah, full fun. And here's the Skratch. There we go. Now let the fun begin, folks. I'm going to take a look inside. I'm going to see if I'm allowed to record a little bit there too. So that's part and parcel of being a vlogger here. So we'll see.
Well, that was very fun indeed, being at the Skratch in Laval. I wasn't able to record it on the inside due to because just to play it safe, I didn't even bother to try to take my camera out, just for the sake of security reasons and all that. And I didn't want them to come and kick me out of the place there, so I was basically playing alone by myself over there. And I ended up after that heading back over to work and playing with a couple of guys over there on Saturday. Or this Saturday, actually, I should say. And it was just for practicing and all that, so I can become a better pool player. And of course, it was always for fun. Pool is also a fun game that I like playing from time to time. I hadn't played it in a long time, since now I'm working at the place that I'm at right now, so I'm getting back into things. Hope you liked the video. Give a thumbs up if you liked it. Give it a thumbs down if you don't. If not, leave a message. And I'd like to see what you guys say. Take care. Until next time, folks.